Wireshark command line tools. We're going to cover why you'd want to use the command line. We'll learn how to use the command line interface. We'll learn how the benefits of the command line interface, in this case, Wireshark's command line interface is known as T-Shark, why we'd want to use that as opposed to the GUI interface. And we'll cover some scenarios that might require you to use the command line interface. So first off, one of the reasons why you'd want to use the command line interface is using T-Shark is actually more responsive. It adds flexibility for capturing, so you can script things to be captured. It also reduces the load on the capture computer. Instead of using the GUI interface, using the command line interface is much easier and it's much less processor intensive to use than the GUI interface. So it's also more stable than the GUI interface as well. One example scenario that you might want to use the command line as opposed to the GUI interface is if you were to do a packet capture from the GUI interface and you're dropping a lot of packets, like it's a really busy network and there's packets that are being dropped. This could be a problem because some of those packets that are being dropped might be some important packets that you want to look at in your packet capture. If you're running into that kind of issue, you get a better response out of using the command line interface and doing captures from the command line than you would from the Wireshark GUI interface. Also, one of the things that you might need to do to make it a little bit easier for you to use T-Shark is actually set up your environment to allow you to easily run T-Shark. You can run T-Shark as soon as you install Wireshark, but to be able to run T-Shark, you need to go to the Wireshark folder when you go to a command line. One of the things that we can do to make it easier is actually add T-Shark to our path in Windows, and it will be part of the environment when you go to a command line. So when you do that, then anytime you go to a command line, you can type in T-Shark and it should run. So let's go ahead and get started and show some examples of how we can set up T-Shark in your environmental variables. One of the things that we would need to do to be able to set up T-Shark to be able to run easily from the command line is to set up the environment variables for it. So one of the things that we need to do is we need to go to the environment variables under Windows System Properties and add Wireshark to the path. So let me go ahead and bring this up over here and show you what that looks like. So here is the path as it's currently defined on this computer that I'm using here. And I've already added Wireshark to the path. Typically this would not show up in here, and it depends on the installation that you have. Maybe you didn't install it on the C drive for some reason. Maybe it's on the D drive instead or something like that. And you could actually use some wildcards in here as well, like the program files wildcard or something like that. But typically, if you just put this in here and add that to your path, then you should be good to go. And it's pretty easy to do this. All you need to do is click New. It'll create a new line like that, and then you edit it and you type in what you need to type in. Pretty simple. So once you do that, then you need to verify and test it to make sure that it's going to work. And to do that, we can go to a command prompt interface like this, like that. And then if you just type in T-Shark -H for help and hit enter, you should get a response. And if you get something like this, then you know that in fact your environment variables are set up correctly and you can run T-Shark from the command line. Okay, that is pretty much it.